And welcome back to the Constitutionals Podcast. I'm your host, Chad White. If you didn't know, this is the premier podcast for the website, cpluscomedy.com. Like I just said, it's a website. Go there. Let me start this thing. Almost a flawless beginning to this show that no one watches. Very close to it. I'm out of breath for some reason. Here we go. Hey, listen, it's first day of San Diego Comic-Con. If you're listening to this in the future, which I hope you are, because if you listen to it now, it'd be very strange. First day of San Diego Comic-Con, I didn't put two and two together. We got like 4 new trailers today. Top Gun Maverick, the Cats movie, which does not look surprisingly bad to me. I mean, it's thumb down all over YouTube. Let's see what else. Jay and Silent Bob reboot. Unborn, that's going to be a show on Amazon from the guy who created, what's it called? BoJack Horseman. And then a 5th one that I'm forgetting that I watched nigh upon 2 hours ago when I was at work. I forgot. Let's go to YouTube. Let's see what there is. But Conan's at Comic-Con as always. I watched that first episode that he did last night. It was one of my hairs on my phone. It Chapter 2. That's right. I think before I get back to Conan, I think they really missed an opportunity to put that movie to make that movie and release it a year after the first movie came out. That's what I would have done. I would have, even if it were to hold off on releasing It Chapter 1 in 2017. I believe it was 2017, right? I'm not going to check. I would have, if I was a studio, I would have just capitalized. That's how Avengers Infinity War and Endgame came out. And look at it, not because of the subject matter, but of course it made money, because it came out so close together. What if Endgame came out 2 years from now, and people were still like they're holding in their like all the energy? That movie probably wouldn't be as much of a hit. But It Chapter 2, they capitalize on it. Capitalize. You got to capitalize. I know I'm no marketer. I understand that they have different things going on. They have different schedules. Come on. Conan, Comic-Con. Last night's episode was fine. It went back to an hour of Conan, which is great. I missed it. I missed him doing an hour. And then they got Jimmy Vivino and the Basic Cable Band is back at Comic-Con with them, so that's good. Andy's there. Andy's got a new podcast out called 3 Questions, I believe. It's a good show. I'm enjoying it. I will. That being said, I didn't finish the whole episode of Abby Jacobson. Mostly because I have like 30 some odd podcast episodes downloaded to my phone right now. But it's a good show, and I like Andy. I love him so much. He's a good guy, very funny guy. Did not know he was going through a divorce until he talked about it on a show on Comedy Bang Bang. So that was strange to hear. I like Sarah Tyre, his wife. I can't pronounce her last name. She's a very funny comedian writer. But yeah, here we go. I'm glad I could just air out all this dirty laundry of Andy Richter on this show that no one wants to do. Listen, let's get into the Emmy nominations. They released Ken Jeong and Darcy Carden, I believe, were the hosts of this year's Emmy announcements. The drama series is, as you know, of course, the shows that are going to be out there. Game of Thrones, Killing Eve. I don't know why Ozark's up there. Pose is out there. Great. Succession, awesome. This Is Us. Better Call Saul and Bodyguard. I don't know why I went in the order that I went in. If you watched enough television this year, or even if you didn't watch enough, you would have known that these are the shows that they're going to nominate for the Emmy, the Television Academy Award. Let's see what else we got. Oh, Jesus, Fleabag. I literally 5 minutes ago, before starting this episode, I finished Fleabag season 2. It should be nominated. It should win, but I don't think it's going to win. It's probably going to be The Good Place or Barry, which are also nominated. Miss Maisel's up there too for some reason. Russian Doll, Veep, and I think Veep's going to win. But Schitt's Creek, Pop TV, Schitt's Creek, created by Dan Levy, Eugene Levy's son, who's also in the show. Both of them in the show. Very funny. Catherine O'Hara, just such a funny show that I didn't recognize until this year. not even like 3-4 months ago. Like I just started watching it. Very funny show. Schitt's Creek deserves to be nominated. Outstanding limited series: Chernobyl, Dannemora, Fosse Verdon, Sharp Objects, When They See Us, of course. I'm not going to choose my winners yet because that's a whole thing I usually do. Bandersnatch, for a television movie, Bandersnatch, Brexit, Deadwood, King Lear, My Dinner of Irvin. I think people just want, sometimes I look at these nominations and I think people just want to say, they just want Netflix to win something. Now, HBO did take back the crown with most nominations, but you have to see for the most wins, come September. But I think no matter how poorly something on Netflix is reviewed or acclaimed or something, they just want Netflix to be in there at some point, and that's why I think Bandersnatch is in there. Now, I've never seen Bandersnatch. I do like Black Mirror. I don't watch them all. I watched them before they were popular, and that's the douchiest thing I've ever said. I watched them before they were popular, but and I have no plans on seeing it anytime soon. I just don't want to sit down and play Bandersnatch. But yeah, I stand by my logic. Lead actor in a comedy series: Bill Hader, Don Cheadle, Anthony Anderson, who will not win. Is very sad, but he's nominated in like almost every year. For the past like 4 or 5 years, he's been nominated. Ted Danson, those numbers might be off. Michael Douglas, Eugene Levy. It's very crazy how Schitt's Creek is getting nominated 3 times for Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy and the show. It's amazing. I love it. Schitt's Creek is a wonderful show. Check it out. It's on Netflix. It's on Pop TV, but it's also on Netflix. Outstanding lead. What? What did I just read? Outstanding lead actor. Oh, comedy series. All right, outstanding lead actor in a drama series: Bob Odenkirk, Kit Harington, I don't know why, Jason Bateman, really don't know why, Billy Porter, Sterling K. Brown, Milo Ventimiglia. Lead actor in a limited series or movie: Jared Harris, Benicio del Toro, Sam Rockwell, Mahershala Ali, Hugh Grant, Jarrell Jerome. When I saw that Jarrell Jerome was nominated, he's one of the actors in When They See Us. I was very surprised, very happy to see someone that young get recognized for good work. Lead actress in a comedy series: Christina Applegate, Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who should win as Fleabag, Rachel Brosnahan, who should not win, no offense, Natasha Lyonne, Catherine O'Hara, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who will definitely win. If she doesn't win, then I don't know what's wrong with this world. I'll say lead actress in a drama series: Emilia Clarke for some reason, Robin Wright for some reason, Viola Davis. As if Robin Wright had to put up with Kevin Spacey. I don't know why she's nominated. Because I don't even think again, this isn't going along with my Netflix theory that people just want it to be nominated, want something in that should be nominated. That the last season was poorly reviewed, and I don't even think anybody watched it. Because Netflix isn't releasing numbers for it. They're releasing numbers for Dead to Me, which is watched by 30 million people. They're releasing numbers for Murder Mystery Party, but not for House of Cards, the final season. Viola Davis, Jodie Comer, who should win, Sandra Oh, who should win, Laura Linney, Mandy Moore. And then just a whole bunch of other shows and things. Simpsons was nominated, of course. I think Bob's Burgers as well. Just very excited for some of my favorite shows. Saturday Night Live, Game of Thrones, they lead the nominations. But let's get into this. So we've been talking about diversity in the world of the Emmys, in the world of the Academy, the television, the film Academy, the music Academy, all the different academies. And we are apparently, we can go to these shows. These people, the famous people, can go to these shows. They can get in these interviews and talk about not having representation for people of color, for women, for people of color. But then when it comes to it, the people of color are still not being represented. It's truly, Hollywood is all talk when it comes to this. They're still not being represented. We're still not being represented, and it's unfair, and it's really getting to be bothersome because they're the ones bringing the issue to the forefront, but they're still not doing anything about it. It's like me saying, I need to iron this shirt. I really need to iron this shirt, but I don't iron the shirt. The problem is still there. And I'm the one, and it's my fault because for both things, I keep bringing it up, and I still don't do anything about it. That's a pretty good analogy. But diversity and the Academy really needs to be recognized. Now they can invite, 400 people of color and women to join the Academy, all actors or writers or directors, cinematographers, editors, artists, you name it. All these people can join the Academy, but it doesn't mean that they're going to vote for the Snowfall. They're going to vote for One Day at a Time, which should be nominated. They're going to vote for, I don't know, Steven Universe. It's a show about lesbian aliens. So that's very diverse. It's just insane that you say one thing, but you don't do it. You don't follow through with it. And again, I did an episode of News Time on this diversity thing, and only Michael B. Jordan is doing anything about it. So check it out. This article, Emmy Nominations see major decline in diversity and inclusion, written by Dino Ramos from Deadline. Headline. I'm gonna make a website called Headline. It's gonna be a trade website, just like Deadline and THR and Variety. Ava DuVernay's, he writes, When They Come See Us came in with the most nominations for people of color, including a first-time nod for Jarrell Jerome. And other well-deserved nominations from the series included Niecy Nash, Ian Juan Ellis. I don't know these names. And then we've got John Leguizamo, Michael K. Williams, and just a slew of other people who are nominated. Billy Porter is nominated. I think Billy Porter is a person of queer identity. That's the only time I'll ever say something like that. I'm never gonna be that politically correct ever again. Kumail Nanjiani was nominated for a Twilight Zone. Why? That was a bad episode. It was. Go watch the episode of the Twilight Zone on CBS All Access. It was not a good episode. It was way too long. I'm not joking. Benicio del Toro, Mahershala Ali. Yeah, but it's just a decline. And this year again, we're gonna see just a whole bunch of white winners, and I love white people. I love them so much, but the Television Academy is not diverse. The voters don't, and if they do have diverse numbers now, they're still not voting for the diverse shows, or they're not voting in. They're not the people. What happens is, when you want to win an Emmy or an Oscar, you campaign for those things. You walk the walk, and then eventually the Academy members, like Terry Crews and I don't know other people in the Academy. Terry Crews and Nick Cannon, I assume. Brad Pitt, other people in the Television Academy and the Movie Academy, whatever, they vote you in, and then they say, okay, or like you campaign for your show. So Benicio del Toro, I assume the producers or Showtime put him up for Escape from Dannemora, and so now he's gonna go around. Now that he's nominated, he's gonna go around to all the late night shows doing interviews and stuff, or doing interviews with like THR or Variety, and now he's going to be trying to win the Emmy. And that's how it works. Very convoluted way of doing it. Definitely check that article out. There's something on. Next up, this comes from Variety. FX Plus is ending. FX Plus, if you didn't know, this is written by Todd Spangler, my good friend. Disney shutting down FX Plus, the subscription service. So if you didn't know, of course, obviously, Disney bought 20th Century Fox. 20th Century Fox owns FX. Okay, here's the thing. Fox sold Fox assets to Disney. So they own all of the movies, the TV shows, all that stuff. and the channels, except for Fox and Fox News. Except for Fox, the broadcast channel, and Fox News. But they own everything else. FX. And so when Disney bought them, they bought FX Plus, obviously. FX Plus is the ad-free service coming from FX, where subscribers who already subscribe to FX via their cable package, like Charter Spectrum, they will pay another $5 so they can get the shows on FX ad free. Plus, they get all the back catalogs and stuff. $6, excuse me. But now FX Plus, it's only been around for like 2-3 years. FX Plus is going to end in August because Disney has Hulu, they have Disney Plus coming out, and they have ESPN Plus. They don't need another service. And they know that. Also, FX Plus was like, 20 shows, including The Shield, American Horror Story, Atlanta, Always Sunny, Damages, Sons of Anarchy, Terriers. A lot of those shows are on Hulu or Netflix or whatever. Current seasons of FX Network's original series will continue to air on the FX and FXX linear channels and be available for, quote, for a limited time on demand viewing, which is what they already do, and the FX Now app online on fxnetworks.com through paid TV subscriber authentication according to the cable programmer. But yeah, I mean, this is a long time coming. I don't know anybody who I know people who can. I understand if people watch Crackle. I don't know anybody who would go, let me subscribe to FX Plus. I don't want to watch the 30-second ad break they have in between The Simpsons on the Simpsons channel. God, I'm gonna miss that so much. AMC Networks did the same thing. They have a thing called AMC Premiere, but it only does it for $5 a month. It's still going strong. Don't know why. Listen, we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to talk about the big story, which is Big Little Lies. Welcome back to the show. This is the Constitutionalist Podcast. Making sure I'm waving on both sides, on both cameras, so that I know. I was looking up cameras today. I don't have the money to buy one. But I was looking up cameras. And camcorders are still being made, believe it or not. Canon released 5 new camcorders. 2 are consumer level, and then like the other 3 are professional. I don't know how it really works, but I think it's very interesting. I mean, they're better than DSLR. The only reason that people started using DSLR is what I gather is that YouTubers and vloggers and all those internet types, they flock to DSLRs because they could do so many things with them, such as take pictures and do video. Whereas a camcorder truly only does video, but what it does it really, really well. I'll look into it, but I am trying to move into an apartment, my own apartment by myself, so I can't afford a camera anytime soon. Let's get on to this next story. The final small story before the big story. Disney heiress laments Bob Iger. Okay, whatever. Okay. This is from Yahoo News. I was so livid. Disney heiress visits theme park to see worker conditions. Abigail Disney did. This is from Yahoo News, written by Rebecca Corey. Abigail Disney is the great-granddaughter of Disney himself. And I don't think it's Walt. I know she's related to Walt, but I think her dad was her. I don't know how the bloodline works, but she's related to Walt. She's an heiress to the fortune. She pulled an undercover boss, and she visited one of the theme parks. Worker conditions were poor. And also she has done this before. She's called out Bob Iger, who is the current Disney CEO. I think he has like 2 more years on his contract, or 3. Last thing I read. He's got $66 million per year in his salary. And while the workers at the Disneyland and Disney theme parks, they only get minimum wage, if that. That's what she said. Bob needs to understand he's an employee just the same as the people scrubbing gum off the sidewalk are employees. And they're entitled to all the same dignity and human rights that he is. Iger's paycheck last year was more than 1,000 times what the median Disney employee made in 2018, according to Equilar. Whoa. Abigail Disney, who does not have a huge following on Twitter, believe it or not, in a different timeline, she's super famous. But on Twitter, I think she has less than 100,000 followers. She went to Disneyland after receiving a Facebook message from a distressed worker. I went to Anaheim, and I wanted to be sure I understood the situation and context really, really well. She said what she found at the happiest place on earth was a facade that was about to crack from the pressure of making ends meet. And you hear that all the time. Like if you really do pay attention, you hear that all the time with different types of businesses. Of course, you hear with Amazon workers who went on strike during Prime Day. I hope you didn't support Prime. I accidentally did. I bought a crock pot. I feel so bad. I woke up that morning. I was like, all right, I guess I'm not going to buy anything on Prime Day. I want to be in solidarity with these workers. And then I get to work, and it's like 11 a.m. and I'm just scrolling the deals, whatever. And I see a crock pot, Instapot for and it's one of the good ones for it's like $150 off, and I'm like, oh boy. A $50 crock pot. No, because it's $130 regularly, so it's like $80 off. And I go, oh, a crock pot. This is what an instant pot. It's an upgraded one. It's the one I've been wanting, and I bought it. I feel so bad. I'll donate some money to it, like a workers' union or something. A spokesperson for Walt Disney Company reached out to say that the company generally avoids responding to such baseless accusations. Baseless, in quotes. Quote, but this one is particularly egregious, and we won't let it stand. We strongly disagree with the characterization of our employees and their experience at Disney. This widely reported stunt is a gross and unfair exaggeration of the facts that is not only a misrepresentation, but also an insult to the thousands of employees who are part of the Disney community. We continually strive to enhance the employment experience of our more than 200,000 employees through a variety of benefits and programs that provide them opportunity, mobility, and well-being. Whoa. And I read somewhere that the 200. They have benefits. They one of their benefits includes being able to what Starbucks does, being able to apply through Disney for like a scholarship where they'll pay for your entire college tuition or something. And they said 40 or 45% of the workforce, the Disney workforce, so 40% of 200,000 people take advantage of that, which is very curious to me. The company's been accused of sexist pay practices. Earlier this month, 40 women joined a major pay gap case against it, according to The Guardian. They're part of a larger class action lawsuit filed in April, alleging that the company systematically underpays its female employees. You know, and then also if you hear that, if listening to podcasts any indication, I've heard several from people who have worked at Disney that they're not allowed to talk in the costumes, and they can never be seen in just like half the costume. Like if you're goofy, you can't have the goofy hat off in the park. And I don't think you can smoke on campus either, but who cares about that? According to the Financial Times, Iger referred Disney to the company's human resources department, quote, who cited initiatives such as its $150 million funding for employee education. There you go. I should really just read. The spokesperson said that more than 40% of Disney's 88,000 plus hourly employees have signed up to participate. It's crazy how you read one thing and it sticks in your head. 40%. Definitely check it out. Disney's very strange. Disney's not strange. Disney's not. I don't know, man. I've just ever since the Fox acquisition, I've been questioning everything Disney does. It's really firing all those people. I understand that there were going to be some firings, but 7,000 people, a lot of people. I was about to curse. There's a lot of people to lose their jobs. Re-releasing Mulan, Lion King, and just the piss poor work, the samey vanilla work, not piss poor, because it's really good if you look at it, but the samey work they do for superhero movies, it's just unimaginative. All right, moving on. This is the last story of the day. The main topic. See, I'm getting a little choked up here. This is about Big Little Lies. So if you notice a little dip in quality for Big Little Lies, as has most of the world, it was found out last weekend that Andrea Arnold, the creator of Big Little Lies, she lost control of the show because HBO just took it from her. This comes from IndieWire. It was breaking news by IndieWire. I'm just going to scratch my lower belly here. Big Little Lies Season 2 turmoil inside Andrea Arnold's loss of control, creative control. Written by Chris O'Falt. Subhead is HBO and David E. Kelley took the show away from Arnold as executive producer Jean-Marc Vallée tried to return it to his Season 1 style. If you've been watching this season of, or the final season, this second season of Big Little Lies, it probably shouldn't exist in the first place. You might notice it's trying too hard, if you ask me. And I know you ask me, baby. It's trying a little bit too hard. Reese's character is doing the most. Laura Dern's character also doing the most. Zoe Kravitz's character has been kind of side-saddled with this depression of killing a man. The only person, Meryl Streep is great. I'm glad to have Meryl Streep there, and I'm glad to have Adam Scott back in any capacity. But it's the Big Little Lies Season 2 is, and I want to say not good, because like that and Game of Thrones, they're just they feel like different shows than they were before. Game of Thrones Season 1 is a different show than Game of Thrones, let's say Game of Thrones Season 4 is a different show compared to Game of Thrones season, the last one, 7? I don't know. All right. When the executive producers and HBO approached Andrea Arnold about directing the second season of Big Little Lies, the pitch was simple. They not only wanted the British filmmaker to direct the entire season, they wanted an Andrea Arnold version of the show and all that entailed. It just wasn't lip service. From prep through production and into post-production, Arnold was to get free reign. But a significant part of HBO and showrunner David E. Kelley's plan was not shared with Arnold. All right, so she didn't create the show, but whatever. She was good at directing. According to a number of sources close to production, there was a dramatic shift in late 2018 as the show was yanked away from Arnold, and creative control was handed over to executive producer and season 1 director Jean-Marc Vallée. That's like taking Raiders of the Lost Ark. I don't know why I'm on an Indiana Jones kick. It's like taking Raiders of the Lost Ark from Spielberg and then just giving it to, someone who's equal, who does equal things but has a completely different mindset. Like Lucas, giving it to George Lucas. He'll add lasers to it or some type of sick incest love story. The goal was to unify the visual style of season 1 and 2. In other words, after all the episodes had been shot, take Arnold's work and make it look and feel like a familiar style Vallée brought to the first hit season, which won 8 out of the 16 Emmys it was nominated for in 2017, including Outstanding Limited Series. When it was a limited series, now it's a TV show. According to sources close to the executive producers, it had always been the plan, although unbeknownst to Arnold, for Vallée to become re-involved in the show last fall. Kelley, whose TV career is a strong believer that TV is different than movies. Shows have a unified style rather than directional voice. I mean, I guess I can see where they're coming from, but you hire a director, you're going to get that person's voice. When you hire James Burrows, for a sitcom, he has to work in that sitcom, in the space of that sitcom world. So the episodes he does of Big Bang Theory are going to be similar to what he does for Cheers. I don't know if he directed Big Bang Theory, any episodes of Big Bang Theory. I assume he did. Episodes he does for Friends are going to look the exact same as episodes he's done of Taxi. Did James Burrows direct Taxi? I don't think so. Hold on. James Burrows Taxi. James Burrows, if you don't know, is one of the Taxi. He did do Taxi. Is the premier director for sitcoms, for multicams. Yeah, if you've watched a sitcom ever in your life, you've seen an episode directed by James Burrows. When HBO and the show's executive producers were unwilling to wait for Vallée, who had committed to Sharp Objects to shoot season 2, the creative team behind the show collectively decided to hire Arnold, whose work they believed that Vallée and his season 1 team could easily shape into the show's distinctive style and post-production. Vallée, who advocated for Arnold, told IndieWire last May that he saw their directorial styles as being cut from the same cloth. I think this is this kind of pisses me off. Laura Dern uploaded a Instagram post where she was wearing a shirt that said Andrea Arnold. Where at the end when they wrapped Big Little Lies. This is damaging evidence for the what corporations can do to the style of something, especially when they want to make a franchise out of something. I guarantee when Big Little Lies ends, they're gonna try to find some way. Warner Media, is that what they're called? AT&T is going to try to find some way to turn to like a spinoff or something. Renata's cooking show. Elements of Arnold's work does remain on screen, but the scenes are truncated. This is a quote: "Scenes are truncated, editing especially choppy. As the season has progressed, the show has increasingly settled into familiar season 1 style and rhythm. 11 editors are currently credited on the show." Jesus. Oh my God. HBO stand. Okay, so this comes from the Hollywood Reporter, written by Jackie Strauss, my good friend. HBO stands by Big Little Lies director amid report of behind-the-scenes drama. The HBO said, quote, "The final product speaks for itself." Ooh, boy, that is ridiculous. This is what the network said to Hollywood Reporter in a statement. "There wouldn't be a season 2 of Big Little Lies without Andrea Arnold. We at HBO and the producers are extremely proud of her work. As with any television project, the executive producers work collaboratively on the series, and we think the final product speaks for itself." That's pretty much all that says. And then Caroline Framick wrote something for Variety. She wrote a column for Variety titled "Big Little Lies Season 2's woes started with its writing." And it just kind of came out last week in that nobody's enjoying Big Little Lies Season 2 right now, which is very strange because I thought, admittedly, I was forcing myself. To feel this show. The second season of the show. Season 1's amazing, fantastic, wonderful series. Wonderful short series, limited series. But I was like, season 2 began, and I just haven't been called to watch episodes. Like, I'm an episode behind right now, and the series ends Sunday. I'll find myself brushing my teeth during the episode, and then like missing whole scenes, and then just going, well, whatever. I don't care about the show, but I brush my teeth and wash my face during it before I go to bed. Okay. That's pretty much it. Yeah, definitely check out the article, but all 3 articles. They're much longer than I made them out to be, and they have great insight into it. That's my George Bush. They have great insight into it. He's a baby now. Shut up. I watched a movie at work today. I watched a movie called Chisholm. Chisholm? Is it Chisholm? Chisholm movie. I think it's Chisholm. And it's starring John Wayne. And it features Billy the Kid in it. Not the actual Billy the Kid guy. He'd been dead. The movie came out in 1970. But it featured Billy the Kid as a character. And his regulators. I watched 2 movies over the past couple of days called Young Guns, and Young Guns 1 and Young Guns 2. And they're not very good movies. They're late 80s movies starring the Brat Pack, Emilio Estevez, Charlie Sheen, Kiefer Sutherland, Lou Diamond Phillips, and a few other people. And Emilio Estevez is Billy the Kid. He plays him really wacky. He plays him like how Mark Hamill plays the Joker in Batman the Animated Series, which is to say that it's like very wild and cartoony, and I love it. It's so Young Guns 1 and Young Guns 2. If you have any chance to check both of them out in succession, I would definitely check it out. There's a lot of issues with those movies. But they're very fun. And I think I like westerns in general. And then I think, and I would hope that if God willing, my writing career takes off, and I'm able to write a movie, I would write and make a movie. I would make a Young Guns reboot, but call it Young Guns Parts 1 and 2, and make it one movie. Make it like a 2.5 hour movie. Tell the entire Young Guns movies, because the first movie is Billy the Kid. And what happens? He gets taken in by a guy named John Tunstall, which is very true. And he starts working with a group of guys called the Regulators, that they call themselves the Regulators, because they go around and they fight to avenge the death of Tunstall. And then eventually some of the Regulators die off, and then they all split. And that's all true. Then in Young Guns 2, which is, I don't think is very accurate except for one thing, one of the Regulators, who's Billy the Kid's friend, Pat Garrett, begins to hunt Billy the Kid because he's just killing people. And the war is over. The war that they started is over. And it's just great, and I love it. Anyway, definitely check it out. Young Guns 1 and 2. Listen, if you like what heard here, head on over to the website, cpluscomedy.com, where there are so many great things. You can, if you want to watch the video version of the show, youtube.com/cpluscomedy. You can also see there the premiere show. It's called News Time. It's a weekly news show. Every single week, I take a topic and I work it. This week's episode is about VidCon, I believe. Oh, no. No. It's about... last week's episode was about VidCon. This week's episode is about Cameo, a service where you can hire famous people to send you personal video messages for, some people like Snoop Dogg's $1,000, or you can get Meredith from The Office, who's like $25. Gilbert Gottfried, who's like $100. So there you go. Definitely check it out. It's a very funny episode, very informative. I did it. I liked it a lot. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Simplest Comedy. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at ChadBlackWhite. Like us on Facebook. Speaking of which, on my Instagram, you can see a vacation video I did. I did 2 videos. Check it out at ChadBlackWhite when I was in Vancouver. The music choices are wonderful. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it so much. Thank you. I love you. Bye.